So I've been seeing a lot of folks very ardently saying Trump doesn't have the power. And so I want to talk about the realities of that statement. And I also want to talk about the realities of words and how words have power. As far as I'm concerned, anyone who is grounding their activism or their resistance in Trump doesn't have power is not really, in my opinion, providing you with legitimate sources of actual power. Because the truth is, we have seen over the past, I would say 8 or 10 years, the co-opting of language by the Republicans in a way that should have been very concerning for more people than it was. We saw the word woke co-opted. We saw the word, we saw critical race theory co-opted. We've seen the word anti-Semitism co-opted. And so when we talk about ways of power and methods of power and use of power, I don't think people think about soft power. They only think about violence, but they don't understand that the use of soft power is in the ways in which your brain processes things as it relates to your safety, your danger, your community. Yes, someone here said DEI was co-opted. Yep, that's another example. Great. So this is where I feel like it's important to start the conversation on the term deported, right? You know, there's people that are simply just landing in, well, he can't deport Americans because even that is a wholly impractical approach to the way that power is being enacted in this administration. Because what he is actually doing in terms of the administration is they are creating America in a number of places by creating prisons in these other countries that will have American sovereignty. So you would be able to be sent to those places. Now, when we talk about the term deported, we are acting as if that only means immigrants being sent back to their country, when we have seen in real time the Supreme Court rule that Trump can take anyone that he deems a criminal and send them, deport them to countries that are not of their origin. And for people to think that doesn't include Americans is just simply impractical. It's just not a logical way of thinking. And I can understand, hold on, the dog is stuck. Hold on. Come on. And I can understand that coming from folks who are not necessarily in tune with the ways, with the ongoings, the goings-ons, if you will, of what's taking place. But I'm seeing this going on from people who really do understand the law and history. So we also need to bring in the term exile here, okay? Exile. And this administration does a thing where they use one word to mean many, many things, okay? So like the term deported is a term that they know that their constituency understands to mean getting rid of illegals. So they just keep using that term, even though they have absolutely given a lot of flexibility to how that term is actually enacted. In their version of deported, that means sending people to prisons. That means sending American citizens to prisons. That doesn't necessarily mean returning you to your country of origin. So we also include in that the concept of exile. Now, in other nations that have had fascist dictatorships, we have seen individuals go into their own self-induced exile, right? So, for instance, I mean, we can name a lot of South African people, but Assata Shakur. Assata Shakur is in a self-induced exile. Because if she were to return, she would be under the threat of violence, under the threat of incarceration. Yes, defecting is another term for this. Defecting is leaving a communist nation. I think. Don't quote me on that. I know that it can mean that, but I'm sure it probably has also a broader definition. But when we talk about the term exile, we have to include that in what they mean by deportation. If they make it impossible for you to live here freely, then they have effectively exiled you. Because your only ability to live free is to live somewhere else. And that is included in their version of deported. We are in the middle of another Holocaust right now. Palestine is another Holocaust. This person said we cannot have another Holocaust. We are in the middle of another Holocaust right now. And for the record, the Holocaust that you're referring to was not the Holocaust. It is a Holocaust. We have had several Holocausts. It means genocide on a scale, on a massive scale with law supporting it. We have had several Holocausts. We are watching. We are in the middle. We are a party to, we are complicit in, and we are witness of a genocide happening right now. Right now. Now, as it goes back to, now I digress, to those who are saying, Trump doesn't have the power, Trump doesn't have the power, Trump doesn't have the power. First of all, we need to acknowledge that this is not about Trump. The same way that Israel is not about Netanyahu. This is about a system that has been in place that allows someone like Trump to be the puppeteer of a movement of harm. Okay? It's a movement of harm that has been in place and that continues to just grow in its ability to enact harm, namely because there isn't enough being done to stop it. That's the Democrats. Now, Ro Khanna just brought a vote to the floor to have all of the representatives vote to release the Epstein files. Now, ultimately, nobody should have a problem with this, but it's not going to happen. I doubt it, because these people are very married to an administration that is backed by lobbyists who allow them to be rich.